Hello, my name is Cosette Ortiz, and today we're going to be discussing passive transport. So first I wanted to discuss what is biology and why is it important to take it. Now, the definition of biology is the study of living organisms. So with biology, I came up with 3 different benefits that we can have. First of all, it helps us learn about the living organisms that surround us. It can improve quality of life and can help solve important environmental issues. So today we're focusing in on cellular transport. So basically with this, what's important to understand is that all cells have membranes, and membranes are what regulate what enters and exits a cell to maintain homeostasis. Now, cellular transport is the movement of ions and molecules across these membranes. So it's basically how these cells get everything that they need and how they do it. Now, passive transport, more specifically, is molecules not needing to use any energy to pass through the membrane. So what's important to note is that molecules move at random. Molecules move from an area of high concentration to low concentration. That's how we're able to get away with using no energy. And there are 3 different types of passive transport. Now, there are 3 different ways to do passive transport. There's osmosis, facilitative diffusion, and just normal diffusion. So the first thing we're going to go into is osmosis. This is the diffusion of water through a selectively permeable membrane. So basically that means that this membrane, like kind of how it says, it selects what's allowed to come through. Now this water, kind of like we mentioned, is going to move from a high to a low concentration. That's how it's able to not use up any energy. And water is going to move freely through pores. So in these membranes, there are small little pores, and that's kind of what allows things to come through. So next there is facilitative diffusion. So basically it's the diffusion of particles through a transport protein. Like I mentioned with pores, in order for things to pass through the pores in the membrane, they often have to fit. So this is whenever something called a transport protein comes into place, and it's what helps transport larger or charged molecules through the membrane because typically is not able to go through the pores themselves. Now, because these molecules are larger or charged, it's selective. So not any molecule can just use a transport protein. And lastly, there's diffusion. And this one's the most basic in my opinion. It's just the random movement of molecules. It continues until all molecules are evenly spaced, obtaining something we call equilibrium. Now, this doesn't mean that these molecules sit in place. They still move around, but they just make sure that they are, in fact, evenly spaced out amongst themselves. Alright, well that wraps it up. Thank you so much, and I hope you understand passive transport a little better. Thank you!